story. Who's the main character?
Greg.
Greg's telling the story through his eyes, and he is actually writing his diary, and he's telling you everything through his eyes. Well, these guys have come up with a monologue that has to do with their life. Now, it could be real. It could be fake. You just never know. Now, keep in mind that these are going to be rough drafts. We haven't had a long time to practice. We practiced maybe, twice? We've run through twice, maybe. So they're still in the process of, finishing and putting the final touches. Come on in. Did you want to sit? Grab a chair. Come on in. So just keep in mind that they are rough drafts. And now, without further ado, CJ.
Hello, welcome to Diary of an OCT Kid. We've got a bunch of funny, true, and suspenseful monologues ahead. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
About 3 years ago, in October 2008, my rabbit called Spuffy escaped. Since it was way too cold outside, she had to go in. I tried to argue with my mom to get her back outside, but my mom refused. So now Spuffy's inside by the fireplace, and I have to sleep through all that racket. It's bad enough with the hamsters. So as I went to bed, I couldn't really go to sleep even as hard as I tried. With all the racket, I felt dizzy and everything. Everything was going on and all the scratching noise, and then I just stopped. I got a little worried and got a little flashlight and went out into the living room. And that's when I saw it. The cage door was wide open and Spuffy was gone. I searched till 12 o'clock at midnight. I was so tired, I ended up just going back to sleep. The next morning, I found Spuffy on the next day.
Okay.
The next day, I saw a white tail and felt ears and knew it was Spuffy. I was so excited, but then I was not so excited. She had left 2 presents, and not the good kind that you get at Christmas, on my pillow. 2 big poop droplets were on my pillow. That was the worst day of my life.
Yeah.
That was great. Now let's move on to our next monologue.
Hi, my name is Naya, and I'm going to be telling you the most shocking story you'll ever hear. It all started on a cool, peaceful day. Like those usual days we have. Anyway, I was lying down on my bed reading a book called The Report Card, and it was a pretty interesting book. But then I got interrupted by my grandma, of course, because it was dinner time. As soon as I sat down at the table, it did not look like a plain dish. It looked spectacular. It was rice, beans, and chicken. My favorite. But the worst thing I didn't like is that you could get a little gassy with the beans. So I ate my dinner, and I noticed that me and my grandma felt exhausted. So we head up to bed, and once we got settled in, 30 minutes later, I hear this huge, big, gigantic noise that sounded like an earthquake. I thought it was the end of the road, but who cares? I want to go to heaven anyway. So I went back to sleep, and I noticed that an hour passed and nothing happened. So I thought it couldn't be the end of the world. So I thought about dinner time, and like I said, you can get a little gas with the beans, but I knew that it wasn't me. But what about my grandma? So I turned to my grandma and asked my grandma, "Did you fart?" She looked at me and she started giggling, like grandmas do all the time. So I knew it was her, and it was from the beans after all. So I decided that I wouldn't eat no beans anymore, or it will happen to me or you.
Very good.
That was funny. Now, let's move on to our next monologue.
Hello, my name is Matthew, and I'm going to tell you a pretty serious monologue today. Have you ever had a bully where he bullies you all over silly things like the color of your shorts or the kind of sunglasses you wear? Well, that happened to me one day. One day, my friend and I were talking in our secret language about people that we had seen around town doing hilarious things. And we accidentally bumped into the bully. And the bully said, "I don't like your shorts, and you guys need to get a haircut." And then the bell rang, and we had to go inside. And then the teacher saw it all go down. And of course, the bully lied, like bullies always do. And then, of course, we had to go to the principal's office. And we missed math, my friend and I's favorite subject. And then, of course, and then the bully got away scot-free. But me, my friend and I, we weren't so lucky. But then the next day, we told our parents that it was early dismissal. And then, of course, we had planned a plan the night before over the phone. And we had said that we would accidentally bump into the bully. So the next day, we were doing what we had done the day before. But that time, we had accidentally bumped into the bully. And then the bully said, "Hey, I hate your shorts. And didn't I tell you guys to get a haircut?" And our parents saw it all go down. And then, of course, the bell rang. And then our teacher went to go talk over to our parents. And then, of course, instead of the bully lying to the teacher, the parents told the teacher the truth. And then, of course, we had to go to the principal's office. And then we got away scot-free that time. And the bully, he wasn't so lucky. And on the best Friday of our lives, the bully was the one that got the attention.
That was hilarious. And wasn't the bully great? Now, let's move on to our next hilarious monologue.
Hi, my name is Karen. I'm going to tell you a story and a short story. On an ordinary day at church, my sister was sitting down just listening to the pastor speak and just talking to her friend. And then she dropped her pen. She bent down to pick it up, and
I'm sorry. That's okay. Derek was supposed to go on.
her pants ripped. So she went to ask the director what she could do about it, and if there's any way she could fix it. And he said he had the perfect thing, duct tape. So her and her friend went to the bathroom to fix it. And when she was done, she went back to her seat, and she had to spend the rest of church with duct tape on her.
And don't you have another short story? Does he have another short story for you?
And I have another short story, and it's about my mom. A few years ago, when she was a kid, she went out to the river to swim with her brother, and they were swimming, and they noticed there was 3 turtles on the log. And then it started to rain, and the turtles jumped in the water. And then my mom said without thinking to her brother that the turtles jumped in the water because they don't want to get wet. Okay.
duct tape really does fix everything. Now, let's move on to the next monologue. Oh. Okay. One day, I was just eating lunch normally with my friends, but then I saw that I couldn't open my pudding. So, like I usually do, I took my spoon and put it right in the pudding, and it spilt all over my pants. I raised my hand and asked the teacher on duty what I could do, and she told me to go get a paper towel. Of course, when I went over to the paper towel station at the pavilion, they were all out of paper towels. And as soon as lunch ended, I ran straight for the bathroom. When I got there, I started to wet a paper towel and then put it all over the space where where the pudding spot was. And then I thought about the strange case of Origami Yoda, where Origami Yoda says, for it not to be noticed, all of the pants you must wet. So I took another paper towel and started to wet all of my pants. And then my friend Herschel came in the bathroom and asked, "What on earth are you doing?" And I replied, "All of pants I must wet." He said, "What?" And I said again, "All of pants I must." And then I thought to myself and realized how stupid that was. I'm like, "Can I have a little help?" And he said, "Sure." And he taught me that I should just dab it on there little by little. Of course, when I got back to class, I was a little late for science.